Hi there, it's Lori from Lollipop Paper and LollipopPaperandInk.com. I'm back today with another sneak peek into the new catalog, which will be going live on this Tuesday, June 4th, and it's 12 Mountain Time, so 2 o'clock here for me on the East Coast. This is our catalog. Hopefully you all have one in your hands and you're making up your wish list as we speak. It's fabulous with beautiful products. So what I chose today for this time is I got myself completely carried away with this Sailing Home stamp set. It's part of the Come Sail Away suite, which is on page 146 of the catalog. And honestly, it was not something that just jumped out at me when I first was looking through the catalog. But once I did order it and I got the DSP because of my paper share. So I hope you all check in my blog and check out the paper share to see if you'll be interested in that. But once I started, I literally couldn't stop. I thought I got carried away with the Magnolia Lane suite. This one just took me even further. So I wanted to share a few of my projects that I did with you. So this is the stamp set. It's a cling set. It's called Sailing Home. Beautiful nautical images. And I love the cling because once you get it all set up there, you can see exactly, instead of kind of guessing what each one of them says. But beautiful images, and they come out gorgeous with every time you stamp them, and some pretty nice sentiments to go along with it. So that's the stamp set. The part of the bundle where you save 10% if you do buy the two of them together. This is the smooth sailing dies, and I put mine on magnetic boards, and I do keep them right in here. So easy access every time I want to use it. So look at how beautiful these dies are. This is for the large stamp set. The large sailboat, which is here, the smaller sailboat, the beautiful lighthouse. We have some coral reef and seaweed, a beautiful captain's wheel, I think you call it, an anchor, a roping, and also a beautiful this I thought this was a punch when I first saw it, but it's a beautiful tag die for this set. This one here gives you like a little roping element to your project. So I'll show you how I put those in. I love this little set, these little birds. So realistic looking. So if you purchase the two of them together, the Sailing Home stamp set and the smooth sailing dies together, you save 10% on the bundle. And so let me show you some of the DSP that comes with this suite. And these are not full sheets. It comes as usual 12 by 12, but I've been using it so much I was happy that I could find at least a couple of squares to be able to show you how beautiful these are. But look at this. I mean, gorgeous colors. That reminds me that I hope you know that I always save this sheet in with the DSP, because when I'm looking at the DSP, the first thing I do is decide what sheet I'm using out of the DSP, and then I go and check the coordinating cardstock and ink colors. Just makes everything so much easier. So this one has a lot of Balmy Blue, Night of Navy, Crumb Cake, Mossy Meadow. I think this one is, and this one, I can't decide which one are my favorites out of those two. But look how beautiful. And of course it's all double-sided, and you can just do so much with it. I had to stop myself at some point. I was just going and going and going. So, and look at this little knot printed paper with the sailboats, and always, you know, the coordinating sides are always beautiful background images too, which I love. So that's the DSP that comes with it. That's called Come Sail Away DSP. So let me show you a few of my projects that I did. just to give you some ideas, hopefully some inspiration. Look how easy this was. It was just balmy blue cardstock as my base layer, and stamped in navy, Night of Navy. Used this little tag die, which I forgot to show you, which is so cute. And you could use this for even, it's small, so it would fit all those itty bitty greetings, which are always great to have. Also, this has a little compass needle. Here, I can't get it up, but and actually my set came, there was a base to that piece, another die, and I looked all over for it, and then I realized it just was missing. So I called Stampin'Up, and I have a new one being sent to me. So if you do find that there's, she said it does happen often, so if you do find that you're missing something, give them a call and they will replace it. So that's what I used for this one here. I used the thanks sentiment to put that right on there. I mean, how easy. It was just cutting and layering. And this Baker's Twine is the new Night of Navy and Sahara Sand Baker's Twine, which is beautiful, and it's perfect for this set, especially with all the roping. So that just added a little bit to this. This was just one of those clear dots, and I just used my Navy Night of Navy blends marker and colored it. And you can do that with any the pearls or the rhinestones, and make it any color that matches your project. So that's good to know. This one here, I made my own DSP by just stamping in Night of Navy the compass image all around the outside. And then here I used a little bit of watercolor. Well, I used the shimmer paper because I didn't want it as textured as the watercolor paper comes out. So I used the shimmer paper, which isn't like super white like the Whisper White is. So that's why I backed it with my card base for this one, with very vanilla cardstock. And for this one, I just took a little bit of the balmy blue and my aqua pen and just gave it a few swirls around the image after I stamped the sailboat first, and just made a little wave action there. And doubled this up with my layering circles, and good to go. Put my beautiful little birdies up there. This one, because I do love crumb cake, and although it doesn't even show crumb cake as one of the coordinating colors, they do show the early espresso. I like crumb cake, especially on black. So I did do this just with layering. This was one of the crumb cake sheets. I did my own tone-on-tone stamping here with the sailboat in crumb cake ink onto crumb cake cardstock. Just kind of made like a fussy knot there, just a little bit of a bow, a little bit of roping. This is just with the linen thread. And this is the tag die that crops out that image beautifully, the sentiment, which would work for the other sentiment also. This one, so simple. I just layered and stamped one image, didn't even use the dies for this. I did stamp this image. This was one sentiment image from the Rooted in Nature stamp set. And then I did it in Night of Navy, and then just cropped them out into 3 different little sayings. And then I added some Happiness Blooms enamel dots, and that was done. Easy. This one I love because I love Mossy Meadow, and I added that in with the early espresso cardstock, and that was my ink that I used. Here you can see the roping from that die, which is so cool. And I just layered that onto some burlap ribbon. Over here I added a little extra twine, and I wanted something a little thicker than the linen thread. So this is from the Nature's Twine that's still being carried over, so that's in the new catalog also. And then I used the congrats and also the little sentiment tag there for that. You can see that. but I just thought that add a little bit extra texture. And here I just stamped the compass, and then I did fussy cut the compass out because I tried to use a 1.5 inch, I believe, punch, and it was just a little bit too wide. So I cropped the cardstock out with the 1.5 inch punch, and then just fussy cut that to layer it right on top. But I love this lighthouse too. Two more. This one I just did a little, I just was in the mood for some more background playing. And so what I did here was I just used some balmy blue ink, and I actually just used my clear block, and I just put the ink right on there, the ink pad right over it. And by doing that, it kind of made lines of where the ink pad was, and I wasn't thrilled with that. So, because I wanted it to be more of a watery motion. And so I just took my sponge dauber and just swirled it around while it was still wet onto the plate, onto the glass block. And then I put that onto Whisper White, trimmed around it, and very happy the way that turned out. And then I just stamped right on here the compass, and then stamped and die cut the large sailboat here, and popped it up on some punches where I just Night of Navy with, I believe, the 2¼ inch punch, and the white is the 2 inch punch. And this was just stamped the sentiment right from the stamp set there. Again, I try to use the baker's twine because these colors are just so perfect with this set. So I use that. So my last one is I use this sentiment is from the Healing Hugs stamp set, which is carrying over also. But I wanted to just use something different and still give it more of a little bit of a masculine feel to it. And so I used my baker's twine. I pulled out the die for the wheel, and I love that. And I almost forgot about it, and I was so happy that I added that in at the end, and then just made my knot around it. I pulled the baker's twine, and I adhered it to the back of the layering square, and I should put that down. I should to the back of the layering square, made the knot, and then just let that loose like that. For this, I did I stamped it in Memento Black, and used my Crumb Cake Blends markers, the combo pack. So for the bottom, I colored in the boat, the bottom of the boat with the dark one, and then the inside of the sails I used the light crumb cake. And I love the way that came out. I made a whole bunch of them because I just got carried away with coloring like I usually do. And that was that. Pop that up with some dimensionals, and it's a beautiful masculine get well card. And I just pulled one out, but you can, there are so many beautiful images. You could decorate any of your envelopes with the anchor or the sailboat, or even the lighthouse would be beautiful on there too. So that's my preview of this new sneak peek for our Come Sail Away suite, which is available again on Tuesday. So I hope that you like this video. I hope that you got some ideas, some inspiration, and that you're all ready to rock and roll when that catalog comes live on Tuesday. Thanks so much for visiting me. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you'll get the next preview of a sneak peek, which probably won't be a sneak peek because the catalog will be out by next week. So, well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you come back and visit soon. Have a great day.